XP, so it should be an all right start for these guys getting right off and going. So
yeah, they're really they're hoping for some really nice experienced monsters right away. Some scorpions or some skeletons or something along those lines. All right, so let's see, what do we have here in the throne room? We have an herb. We have we're going to have double keys.
So it'll be neat to see, like, are these guys going to use that key right away to check the armory, or are they going to check maybe what's in the basement? Honestly, if it was me having that hurt more, I would probably try to go out and at least get enough money to purchase another key before opening, so you can have both doors open.
And Demi is not going to save, and she's just going to go check the chests. We do have gold, so a gold grind will be possible. We have a cursed belt. We have an axe ghost. Oh, she did save. Okay. And oh, Jesus, really? We have a fighter's ring, and we have Erdrick's sword. All right. So right off the bat, we have a gold grind possible. We have Erdrick's sword, and we have hurt more. Okay. Zoom, 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 zoom. Yes, ETAP, actual sword. For whatever reason, the glitch doesn't apply to Erdrick's sword. So whenever you see Erdrick's sword in a chest, it is honest to God Erdrick's sword. And a warlock is Demi's first kill, and that should get her up to level 3 right off the hop.
That is correct, and it looked like Hangry Canuck decided to reset.
Yeah, he reset in order to activate the gold grind. He just reset. He didn't restart. Okay. And Demi gets to level 5 with that kill that I completely and totally missed. And Hangry looks like he's going to do a little bit of grinding of his own.
I mean, having access to both Hurtmore and Erdrick's sword at the beginning should allow for a decent amount of getting early XP. All the early mobs they'll be able to just one hit with the Erdrick's sword. Any of the mid to late game enemies they'll be able to hopefully take down with the one cast of Hurtmore. So
yeah, so this is, and look at Demi's MP here at level 5. It's 57. So now all of a sudden she's gone from 2 casts of Hurtmore to 11 casts of Hurtmore, plus the heal spell. Exploration is definitely on for Demi.
And Repel early on with Hurtmore is going to be huge for these guys, because they'll be able to get rid of a lot of those lower level enemies, get further exploration, and because they have access to the Hurtmore, and in fact with her having 11 casts of Hurtmore, she should be able to get a decent amount of exploration, as long as we don't run into those mobs that are unhurtmore, but like demonites, golems, stone med, red dragons, and then I like to say blue dragons, because blue dragons are still like 50-50, and you need to land 2 casts in order for it to be effective.
Mm-hmm. And Demi finds a town and a cave right here. Let's see, what do we have? We have town-wise, we have Brackenary. Yay.
Favorite town.
Well, hopefully they got something good in here. I mean, well, they don't need any more weaponry, so chainmail would be nice. She can pick up some herbs. She has the heal spell, but probably some herbs would be a good thing. A dragon scale, some torches.
Also, too, at level 6, it looks like they earned sleep, which will be super useful for when if they do run into stone men and they're having a hard time with that 48 agility to run. They'll be able to put those mobs to sleep in order to progress further.
And we see Breckenary both has a small shield and a large shield, so eventually they will probably come back here to get their large shield, both of our runners.
It
looks like, go ahead.
I will say I'm a little disappointed so far in a lot of the seeds that I've seen this week, because you don't usually find Breckenary as one of the first towns. And in this case they did, but they already have the repel spell, so they're not going to get a chance to utilize the fairy water building that in the new randomizer has the unlocked door, which a lot of people are unfamiliar with.
Mm-hmm. Oh, now there's a nice thing over on Hangry side. Yes, he dies to a wizard, but the wizards cast Stop Spell, which makes them a very nice enemy to have in Sherlock, because once you get Erdrick's armor, you're going to be immune to Stop Spell. So that makes for either a easy kill, or it makes for a certain easy enemy. Okay, let's see. What do we have here? This looks to be Mountain Cave, I do believe. Yep, and another cave over on Hangry side. What do we have here? We have... That might have been the Tablet Cave, maybe? Oh, and a town just to the south of that. What does Hangry have here? We have the town of Coal. Interesting. All right, let's see what we have in the search spot. Do we have a vanilla fairy flute? Do we have a token? Do we have an armor? Or do we have nothing? How vanilla.
In Hangry's case, I think he was really hoping for the armor, considering we've seen quite a lot of swamp so far on this seed. It almost reminds me of back in Chaos when we had the big swamp seed.
Mm-hmm. And Hangry having to fight the most nefarious boss in all of Alefgard, the townspeople getting in his way. Oh, Metal Slimes cast Hurt. Interesting.
If I'm not mistaken, with Demerine only having 18 strength, I don't think the Metal Slime will run unless you reach a strength value of 20.
Exactly. Yep, the Metal Slime would not run, but Demi didn't want to stay there and engage in a slap fight, so she's like, nah, not for now.
There's a Jerk Cave, and what else do we see just above? I think that's like a 50-50. I mean, you could spend, even if I think if you spent 5 minutes trying to kill the Metal Slime and you're able to get it, the amount of XP that you get, I think would be worth it.
It depends. But if they didn't have Hurt more, I'd probably agree with you. But having Hurt more, you can probably get that experience, double that experience in another minute elsewhere, depending on what enemies are around. I can understand both arguments. And I do believe Demi has found Swamp Cave. Well, that's
Swamp
fun.
North. And that's actually that's a big play for Demi right there.
Well, that is a big play for Demi because now she can buy a whole boatload of keys.
That also means that there's only going to be the single continent, which is rare to see. Maybe not as rare in the new update, but you don't see it very often.
Yeah, I think somebody did a calculation or like a simulation and found that it was like 30% of seeds now are one continent as opposed to like 5 or 10%. So it's a little less rare having one continent, but yeah, this is definitively one continent. Hangry's going to take out this wolf with a well-placed Hurtmore, and then he's going to take out a Magiwyvern and get to level 7. Let's see, what does level 7 have for Demi? 5 power, 6 speed, no hit points, and 14 magic points.
As you can see already, level 7 78 magic points and only 30 hit points.
And even possibly even more troubling than the just 30 hit points is just 23 strength. So this is our runners here are a little weak, let's say. I mean, and even look over on Hangry's side. I mean, at least Hangry has the 30 HP that Demi has. Given that Hangry is a strength agility build and Demerine has strength HP. It looks like Hangry is going to find our 2-town system here, our 2-cave system, with the Rainbow Drop Cave, aka Jerk Cave, and the Swamp North, which leads to Swamp South, which is in the basement of Tantagel.
This right here will give Demerine level 8.
Spoke a little too soon.
breath.
And we find our first enemy with the L2 breath. It is the werewolf.
It's not very often you get a Maxwell Hurtmore on a werewolf and it doesn't kill it.
And Hangry kills a gold man and pops out at the back of Tantagel. So he'll actually be very happy he got that 255 gold.
Yeah, definitely getting that extra 255 gold before coming out of the other end, not knowing what it is. Definitely will be happy to know that he can buy more keys.
Well, at least level 8 gave Demi some strength, or some HP. Strength, on the other hand, not so much.
21 hit point gain. That is almost double what they had originally, which will be good because that'll allow them to traverse a little bit more through the swamp tiles versus having to heal, every couple squares.
All right, so Hangry is now going north and west of that 2-cave system we found earlier.
The one advantage I will say, being a one-continent map, is depending on when we find Cantland, and if we have chords and need the coordinates, you don't have to worry about trying to count them and them being on a second continent, so possible that the coordinates could be counted out.
Indeed.
Demerine coming into Cole and gonna find her fairy flute.
Meanwhile, it looks like Hangry has found our first Sparkover bridge of the game and searches it. And that is in honor of our wonderful restreamer, Sparkover. And
Validated.
For those, go ahead.
I said Hangry just validated the run.
Exactly. And for those of you that may not be familiar with what we call Sparkover Bridge, a Sparkover Bridge is a bridge that leads to exactly one tile. Sparkover loves those type of bridges, so we decided to name them after her.
And in the new map, there's tons of bridges and river systems, and you're more likely to see a Sparkover bridge in the new map layout than I think before, but tons of bridges nonetheless. And I really do like the river systems and the vast maps that we've had to encounter lately. So,
okay. Meanwhile, Demerine has lit her way up through the Tablet Cave, which is just to the north of Cole. And we're going to stock up on some more keys. And meanwhile, on the bottom of the Tablet Cave, we have another Cursed Belt. So we have 2 cursed belts that we've already seen this seed, so therefore we know that our 3 overworld search spots, the overworld search spot, Coal, and Hawksness, will have our 3 items. The Fairy Flute, Erdrick's Token, and Erdrick's Armor. Of course, we already know the Fairy Flute is in Coal, so the Token and the Armor have to be between Hawksness and the overworld item.
Now, with that knowledge, and you know where Swamp North is, do you go and see what the trap tile is and maybe get the Princess Rescue out of the way now, or do you save that for later?
Personally, knowing exactly where the Swamp Cave is and having such easy access to it, I get the coordinates before I make that decision. I mean, maybe if I want to grind, I'll check the trap tile, but I don't rescue the princess until I'm absolutely sure I need it. And we're back into exploration mode. As Hangry encounters a golem, and will put the golem to sleep via the dulcet tunes of the Fairy Flute. Alright. Demerine finding her way back to Breckenary. I would imagine that she's going to pick up some torches here to light her way up through some of these caves that she's been finding.
Yeah, not a bad play. I personally like to have 1 or 2 torches on me just in a pinch. Although I can do all the dungeons in a darkroom matter, but if for some reason I'm in a rush or I have a misinput, it's nice to sometimes have that torch to get you out of a misinput or whatever. So I always like to at least have 1 handy torches in case of emergencies.
Oh, absolutely agreed. Oh, and there's a spark over bridge there, south of the swamp. Is Demerine going to go check it? Indeed she is. And a golem sends Hangry back to start. And Demerine tries a Hurtmore on the Demon Knight, and yeah, that won't work. And the Demon Knight sends her back to start. Shushan, has anyone ever gotten anything from that? I believe it's happened once in the thousands of races that have ever happened. I believe it has happened once. At least to my knowledge. And Hangry finding out that the green dragon has baby's breath. Tilo asking when the Spark Over Bridge search yielded something. It was a couple years ago. I don't remember exactly when. It wasn't a tournament setting. It was a casual race, or maybe it might not have even been a race. Maybe it was just a seed somebody was playing. And it looks like Hangry has found another town on his side, one I don't think we've seen yet. And it's Garenham. All right, so what do we have in the back of Garenham? We have gold. We have the silver harp. And either herb or key.
If we're lucky,
no, it's got to be an herb.
We're lucky he will get the silver harp turning in this cave, because I don't think we've seen that yet, and I don't think we've seen bonus cave yet.
Well, speak of the bonus cave. This is the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight Cave, and in the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight Cave, we find the Dragon Scale.
It's always nice when you hit Garenham and get the harp, and then right in the back is the Staff of Rain, so you can just go ahead and get that right out of the way.
And Demi's character is no longer naked, having picked up some leather armor. And Hangry's character... How does a slime wear leather armor? Anyways, the skeleton kill here on Hangry side will get Hangry level 9. And what do we have? We have a little bit of power and not a whole heck of a lot else.
And Radiant at level 9, so that'll help in a lot of those dark rooms, especially if they don't happen to have a torch hand. I will say though, Z-Man, unless these strength gains get better, we could be in for a long night. Even though we have that early hurt more spell, you know, this might not be one of those go at 14 or 15. This could be, you know, 16, 17, or 18, depending on those strength gains.
It depends. Hopefully we have now just cast the commentator's blessing on this particular race, and level 10 will hold a 50 strength increase.
Lorgon in the chat. Could be the first race where we see our winner use 3 hurt mores on DL2. Smiley face. That would be some miracle RNG.
And it looks like Demi has found the grave of Garenham. Or the grave of Garen, I should say.
Hangry finding Caitlin, so we'll see if he's going to check the chords while he's right here.
And he does find a silver shield in Caitlin, but decides, you know what, a little too expensive. I'm just going to buy the large shield for now.
And large shield is actually a viable option. And most seeds you can get away with winning the end game with the large shield, so.
Alright, what do we have here? In the top of Garen's grave, we have absolutely nothing. We have gold and I think some wings. Our wonderful tracker Algebrap has corrected me. Fairy water and some gold. Alright, so let's see. What coordinates do we have here? They may go and search. 3 south, 70 west. Oh, princess. I'm coming to get you, princess.
So, even on a single continent map, Z-Man, you wouldn't try to count those out?
Not 70. There's way too much that can get in the way between you and 70 coordinates to the west. Unless I knew for sure that it was a straight shot west, no, there's no chance I would count out 70 west. At least personally. I know some people would. I would not personally.
If you could do it with minimal encounters and take good notes, it could probably save you a ton of time. I personally, on a single continent, would probably attempt to count it out. But by doing so, I wouldn't want to waste a lot of time before I went and saved the princess.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'd give it a scope and see how reasonable it would be, but you know, maybe I'd give it one attempt and then just call it a day. But my first instinct would be princess.
Another cave for Hangry. I feel like this has to be the harp turn-in.
It is indeed. It is the shrine cave where you trade the harp for the staff of rain. So unless I'm crazy, I think we've seen everything. Mountain Cave is the only one I'm sketchy on if we've seen or not. Or as far as caves go. Yeah, Algebrap confirms. Algebrap doesn't think we've seen Mountain either. So, but we still have plenty of towns out there. We have not yet seen Rumeldar, and we have not yet seen Hawksness. And Demi gets to level 10. Nice hit point gain. A little strength. At least our runners' hit points now, level 9 and 10, are starting to come around very nicely. Their strength. Well, I mean, at this rate, we'll need level 30 to beat the Dragon Lord. So Hangry is trying to count it out. Well, this might actually be kind of possible. Nope. There's a nice little lake in between there. And Hangry has the same exact reaction I had. Nope. Oh, green dragons have sleep. That's fun. Oh, wait, he's going south of Charlock to count. Interesting. Okay, Demi going back into the treasury, and it looks like she's going to do a... Oh, look, she found the rainbow trap. Oh, my God. No. She's going to institute the gold grind. For those of you that may be unfamiliar with the gold grind, when this game was programmed, it was programmed such that whenever you would search a chest, then that chest would go into memory, and then memory would clear when you entered the overworld. But then funny things happened. Like, for example, whenever you enter the throne room, the game will put 3 chests into memory because, well, they never decided to clear those chests from memory, the programmers, I suppose. Well, okay. Now, if you look at the way Tantegel was originally built in the vanilla game, you had the 3 chests in the throne room, the 4 chests in the treasury, and then the 1 chest underneath Tantegel, which was the Stones of Sunlight. So the developers thought, you know what? No one will ever get more than 8 treasures on a time. So the developers said that, we'll never need to clear more than 8 chests from memory at a time. Never once thinking that, they could open all 5 in the grave and then die. So, yeah. So what happens is, once you start opening the 9th chest, the game cannot physically clear that chest from memory, and then you can just keep opening the chest over and over and over and over again as much as you want. So if you find gold, then you can print gold until your heart is content. And it looks like Demi has ground up enough for, I want to say, a silver shield and full plate armor. I want to say.
Yeah, and I will have to say that's probably the first time ever with the glitch that I've actually seen the rainbow drop show up. I've also seen in one of the versions Erdrick's tablet show up once, but usually it's like the axe ghost, the bamboo pole, the sword magician, things like that. But I gotta say that's probably a first for me for the rainbow drop showing up.
For me personally, my favorite is the red, and that actually showed up earlier in the tournament. Okay, so it looks like Demi picked up a silver shield and the half plate armor. And meanwhile, Hangry is going back to try to count out the coordinates. Okay, Hangry doing a flyby of what I'm pretty sure is Garanham.
That metal sign is just scooting across that desert, so it'll be crazy to see if he can get this countdown.
Okay, there's Cantlin.
As I remember right, there isn't anything south of Cantlin, so he's gonna have to work his way back up.
He seems to have a bead on it, though. Like, he's kind of beelining. I'm wondering if he's closing in on it. And meanwhile, it looks like Demi has found the mountain cave and is going to open up the first chest in the mountain cave, which is gold.
Stone Man hurt more on Hangry, sending him back.
Now, hopefully, Hangry did make a note as to something. And there are the stones of sunlight for Demi. This is a smart play from Demi, if you ask me. She knows that she has seen both of the cursed belts, so she knows that the token cannot be in a chest. And given that she already has Erdrick's armor and the fighter's ring, no reason to open up any more chests unless at some point she needs the death necklace. But she's like, nope, I'm done. I'm done opening chests. And I think that is absolutely smart. It's a time saver for now.
Yeah, but I mean, she's already in here, and you got to think, like, looking at your stats, you got decent hit points at level 10, decent magic points at level 10, but that 30 strength, you might need the death necklace if you want to finish the seed, at a reasonable level. So, I mean, if I would have looked at my stats and saw that, I might finish grabbing the other chest because you're already there.
Sure, very good point.
Now, if it was maybe like the grave where you have the locked door and then you have one chest and one chest, those I might skip because it is two chests that are a little harder to get to versus in Mount Cave, it's, right there.
Very true. And we want to welcome everybody from Randomania Prime, where they have just finished a rather marathon-length Dragon Warrior Randomizer race of their own. Welcome! We're watching Demerine versus the Hangry Canuck. Both of these racers are 1-1. Just for a brief breakdown of this particular seed, our racers started with the Hurtmore spell and 2 keys in the throne room. And then in the treasury was Erdrick's sword. So both of our runners had everything they needed right away. And now it's just been finding things. We have seen both cursed belts, so we know that our 3 search spots will be full. We know that the fairy flute is in coal. We don't know what's on the overworld yet, nor do we know what's in Hawksness. We haven't even seen Hawksness yet.
And we also discovered it's a single continent, as the swamp south led to the back of Tantagel.
Indeed. So Hangry is hopefully just about to open the chest that we know to be the Stones of Sunlight, and then he will have just one more chest to open here in Mountain Cave. Meanwhile, Demi has found Rimildar. At this point, Rimildar is just useful for the gold, maybe to check the one chest if you want to really look for the Death Necklace. And it's a torch. So the Death Necklace is not here, so that means the Death Necklace is either in Rimildar or it is in Charlotte Castle. Mr. Spokes, we don't know where Erdrick's armor is. Well, it's either in Hawksness or it's on the overworld. But right now, yes, Erdrick's armor has to be on a search spot, be it Cole, be it Hawksness, or be it on the overworld. It has to be in one of those three. That said, in this particular seed, we know that the Fairy Flute is in Cole.
And honestly, best case scenario for these runners would be Death Necklace inside Charlock Treasury, because you're already there. If it happens to be in, say, that final chest at the bottom of the grave, like you said, we might not see it come into play today.
That's possible. So right now, Demi is still looking. I do not believe she has seen Caitlin, and I do not believe that she has, well, neither one of our runners have seen Hawksness. And it looks like Hangry is indeed taking the Death Warp and will probably start a gold grind.
And yes, as far as I know, I do not think Demerine has been to Caitlin yet.
And we have found the tablet. Alright, so Hangry is now glitching his gold grind.
Printing money, as we like to call it.
Looks like Demi is making her way back toward what I believe to be Brecken. Is that Breckenare or is that Garenham? All right, well, both of our owners know where a silver shield is, and we did see a magic armor somewhere. I don't remember exactly where, but it's out there.
I want to say it was Cole. And I don't remember Hangry checking the Caitlin shops either, so with there being 3 shops there, he might actually have access to magic armor if it wasn't in Cole.
Demi not checking the back of Garenham, which we know is the Staff of Rain cave, where they exchange the harp for the Staff of Rain. Interesting call there.
No, back of Garenham was bonus cave.
What's that? Yeah, you're right. My memory has failed. That happens once in a while.
And here she's going to find Caitlin, and let's see if she's going to check any of these shops or go right for the coordinates.
Alright, and Demerine has now gathered her coordinates. And it looks like Hangry beelined it straight for Garanham, where Garanham has the magic armor. Okay. So he has purchased the magic armor. Now he just needs to find where the silver shield was, where few places had it, and purchase one there. Our tracker, Algebrap, has said that there is one in the top shop in Cantlin. Hangry has now purchased a silver shield and now is filling up on keys again.
Demerine gonna come down here and find that it dead ends, but at 41 minutes in, you gotta think these guys have been doing really good exploration, considering they know that the last 2 items they need are on search spots. So once they get those, it's just gonna be a matter of, is there gonna be a good grind tile for them to grind? Are any of them gonna try to go into, say, Sharlock and see, grind the mobs there, or are they just gonna find a area on the map that had good, mobs, and how high level are they going to have to go at that point?
Very true.
Because the one thing I noticed a lot about this game is like exploration and getting the items is good, but sometimes grind and go mode, finding a place to grind, is almost as bad as just trying to get the exploration done, trying to find a place that you can consistently get, say, enough XP, but not have to leave and traverse, all over the map just to get to an end to save and then go back. So,
well, now this is interesting. Demi has found the town of Hawksness, which I believe was to the north and east of Cantlin, I believe. So we're about to see what's in the trap tile here. We shall see.
It looked like Hawksnest was right there on the bottom tile of that mountain range there too. So kind of just stuck up in there.
Ooh, and it's an armored knight. Now, as long as this armored knight doesn't have anything stupid, this should be a nice, easy kill.
And with Cantlin being close, this could be an easy grind spot for them too.
And it is the token that is in Hawksness, so therefore the armor will indeed be on the overworld. So I could very easily... Oh, that's not even stupid. That's nice. When an armored knight has baby breath, that is nice. So what I could easily see Demi doing here is basically wasting all of her resources and then warping back to Tantagel, going underneath Tantagel to get the princess. Ooh, and it has this stop spell as well. Not so good right now, but once you get Erdrick's armor, this is going to be a great grind. With Baby's Breath and stop spell, man.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that would have been the smart play too, is just stick around as long as you can, get as much XP, because at this point we know we still need the levels. And then, taking the warp back, grabbing the princess for the GPS, and then going and grabbing the armor. And at that point, you could then grab the rainbow drop and then just head back there, because that's probably going to be one of the better tiles, because it isn't very far from an inn, so they can just grind there, get out, go back, heal up, and then go back.
And meanwhile, Demi is not even hesitating and going immediately to the bottom of Charlotte Castle, where she knows the swamp cave to be, and will go rescue the princess. Meanwhile, Hangry got into the grave of Demerine. It looked like opened up the top 3 chests and then got sent back to start by a blue dragon. And Hangry once again is going to try to count these coordinates. Well, there's your power. That's a nice little level there. 23 strength and 27 strength and 23 MP, or vice versa. Yeah, that's a nice little level there. Ooh, but the golem is on the trap tile here. I'm not sure how doable this is going to be without Healmore. Yeah, you might need to grind to get Healmore before you can take on this golem.
Yeah, and depending on when they get heal more, that could be the thing that holds them up too, because they might not get it before 16, and we know at level 16 we're guaranteed to learn all the spells. So if it doesn't come till 16, they're at least going to have to grind all the way to 16. But with that 120 MP already, that's already 15 heal mores in the bag for these guys.
Speaking of in the bag, Demerine has now put the rainbow drop in her bag. All right, so Hangry he's starting his search. So he's got to think he's somewhere nearby. Uh-oh, Stoneman with Hurtmore. That ain't good. Great. So... well, at least Hangry is now going to stumble into the town of Hawksness.
It looks like Demerine is also going to attempt to do the count of the coordinates as well.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, though, for the Hangry Canuck, if he felt like he was in the right area, I think you have to search more than 2 tiles before giving up at that point. I mean, if you're going to make a try, at least make an effort for it and at least do more than, say a couple squares and give up on it.
Yeah, generally my rule of thumb is I, at minimum, will search a 3x3 square, if not a 5x5. Because I don't think in my opinion, I'm not going to be off by more than 2 or 3 in any one particular direction.
And I'll say I learned firsthand on my last race, when I went back and rewatched the VOD, that I only search in a straight line versus doing like a spiral out, and twice I was 1 away from searching the right spot, and I ended up wasting all that time and having to go back and save the princess.
Hangry herbing up here to take down an armored knight. Whoa. And he just got his spell blocked. Now, he got 1 Hurtmore off, so in theory... oh, but he doesn't have that big strength at big strength from level 12. He's not going to hit that Armored Knight for much. Well, Baby's Breath helps. Okay, another attack. So he's now done 21 on top, and he's YOLO attacking and does not get it.
Unfortunate with that stop spell. The good note, though, is he does know where it is, so he can go right back there and give it another shot. Also, less than 100 XP to level, he'll be able to pick that up, hopefully, before he goes back, which will give him a little bit of a boost on his strength.
Alright, so Demi is continuing her count to what we know to be the armor. Looks probably gonna... Oh, nope. Thought you might slap a repel back on there. Meanwhile, Hangry is trying to get away from stone men and golems.
If Demerine manages to get this count, we'll actually get to see how far off or how close Hangry Canuck actually was.
So this looked to be like the column that Hangry was searching.
He originally searched one tile above what she is now is where he originally started.
Given how straight line her search is, she's confident in the 70. Ooh, and then gets sent back to start by a stone man. Meanwhile, Hangry Canuck back into Hawksness to try to take on another Armored Knight.
Golems and stonemen this seed have just been harsh on our players today.
Yeah, and the thing is given how prevalent that both stone men and golems are on the overworld, the thing that really sucks about them is you can't hurt more of them, really, with any type of regularity, so you can't really get experience from them.
Nope, your best bet is you can try Stop Spell, and you can try Sleep, but neither of those are like 100% effective.
Oh, Stop Spell. Hangry did stick a Stop Spell on the Knight, and now this should be a relatively easy fight. And that Armored Knight does give Hangry level 11 and his token. Alright, so both Hangry and Demerine both know that it is definitely the armor on the overworld here. Now it's just a matter of how do you get it? Do you try to do the count, or do you try to get good RNG and a Fairy Flute and take out a Golem? For Demi right now, that strategy might be a little more appealing because Demi's attack power is 100 and you can probably take a Golem down in, I don't know, 5 swings maybe, and is getting a 2-turn or then a 3-turn and then another 3-turn Fairy Flute. Is that a possibility? I mean, with 87 HP, You get good flute RNG, it's certainly possible. Meanwhile, Demi is trying her hand at counting again, and Hangry is doing some grinding on this armored knight. Okay, now they are both in the same area, and a werewolf sends Hangry back to start with that DL2 breath. Alright, so now Demi redid her count, and now she's right up along that coast. And there it is. The armor is right up along the coast in that general area that Hangry was searching earlier. So now that Demi is right here, all she needs to do is head into Hawksness, and now we'll just start blasting away at armored knights. So right now, what are they looking for? They're looking for the Heal More spell and, well, enough strength, really, to beat down the Dragon Lord. They certainly have enough MP to beat the Dragon Lord. Their HP, by the time they get enough strength, they'll have it. So really, they're looking for strength, and they're looking for the Heal More spell.
All right, and it looks like while I stepped away, Demerine found the Erdrick's armor.
Yeah, so the armor is along the coast. It is not one in from the coast. And it was right in the same area that both Demi and Hangry were searching earlier. It is right along the coast.
Now, you gotta think too, we're approaching the hour mark. We started out with Hurtmore and Erdrick's sword in the treasury. Do you feel at this point, whether you're Demerine or hangrycanuck, that you might be behind the other person at this point?
I would think probably the answer to that would be yes, just simply because an hour in with a sword and Hurtmore start, I'm looking at my levels and it's like, I would feel behind on level. Oh, and I think Hangry's right there. And Hangry gets it. So now it looks like we're going to have dueling grinds.
Now it looks like the name of the game is going to be who can find the better grind tile and make up that XP to see when we're going to get Heal More and when, is going to be the level that we can attempt to take on Dragon Lord 2.
I mean, I don't think really it's any debate what the grind tile is you want to grind on. It's this armored knight with stop spell and baby's breath. I mean, you're gonna kill it in most of the time 2 shots of Hurtmore. You're not going to absorb that much damage. It's going to go pretty darn quick. 4 power, 2 speed, 6 hit points at level 13, no spell. Keep on grinding. All right, so currently, Demi has a 1,600? Yeah, 1,600 experience lead. And it looks like they're both going to grind in the same spot. So now the question becomes, is their build going to come into play? Demerine has strength HP. Hangry has strength agility. My guess would be it's not going to make that big of a difference. With Demi already at 93 HP by level 16, I mean, you got to figure by level 14 or 15, you're going to have enough both builds will probably have enough HP to go take on the Dragon Lord. So Hangry might have a slight better defensive rating. But as of right now, I mean, even if our runners had the Death Necklace isn't an option due to their relatively low HP total. Now, that's not to say that, 14, 15, and or 16 may have significant HP gains. But right now, it's very much... I don't think the build is really going to make a difference. It's now just grind away until you get the stats to beat the Dragon Lord.
Also, too, with that early Hurtmore and the Erdrick Sword, I don't know if there was a huge difference in, what build they chose considering the start they had. Now, if they didn't have Hurtmore or the Sword, it could have been, a different story, but I really don't think the outcome starting out was really going to be a huge deal.
So something to keep in mind here at level... let's just play off a level 13 for Demerine. Right now, you have 120 MP, and that is exactly 15 heal mores, right? So if you have 15 heal mores with a modest HP gain, you can probably say, all right, 15 heal mores, you'll probably get 16 to 17 swings at the Dragon Lord, somewhere in through there. So that then reduces the strength you'll need to take on the Dragon Lord. So, I mean, usually we say we want strength 90, right? Because, we'll explain the math when we get there. But I think they're going to be able to go at strength significantly below 80 here. Or strength significantly below 90 because they have so many heal mores.
Unfortunate, Hangry took a death there.
I believe that was intentional. He only had 4 MP left.
I wonder if he doesn't realize Caitlin is just to the south there.
So it looks like Hangry is... Now, he's probably going to use the Swamp Cave to get to the Rainbow Drop Cave because the two were right next to each other. And it'll be interesting to see if Hangry checks the spike tile here. To see if maybe this is... Oh, that's right. It's a golem. I don't know if you ever saw the spike tile here before. Now, the question is going to be, does Demi go into Charlock and grind first floor Charlock, or does she go back to Hawksness and grind on the Arbor Knights?
I still think at that point, I think Hawksness is still better. It's a guaranteed tile that you're going to get, and with it using Stop Spell and Baby Breath and having Erdrick's Armor, I mean, it seems like a win-win.
It depends what's here, though. I mean, if you get a bunch of werewolves on this floor, well, that's a no-go. Now, stone men are a no-go. Alright, so where is Hangry off to now? Meanwhile, Demi gets level 14. A bit of a middling level, but it does have the spell of Heal More. And it looks like Hangry is going to kind of sort of have the same idea here, as he's at least going to look at the... He's at least going to put the bridge up, it looks like.
It looks like as soon as Demerine saw that stone man on the first floor, she automatically opted out.
Oh yeah, you want no part of werewolves in this seed. Yeah, it's nice when you can one-shot them, but if you don't one-shot them, you're probably getting Dragon Lord 2 breath to the face. Hangry gaining level 13.
Yeah, that's a hard choice to decide. When you sleep a stone man, do you run knowing that it has hurt more? Or do you take the risk and hope that it stays asleep, or just keep putting it to sleep? Because every time it wakes up, and that's more MP you gotta use for the minimal amount of XP that you were getting compared to the AK Trap Talon Hawk's Nest.
So my general theory is I don't fight stonemen unless I have absolutely positively no choice. They hit hard, they're resistant to hurt more, they've got a fair amount of HP, and their HP to experience ratio, not so good. So if I have any other option, I never fight a stone man, pretty much regardless of what it has, personally.
And that's kind of how I feel too. Even if they have something, let's say they spam, let's say, hurt, and it does nothing, their hit point to XP ratio still doesn't seem to be good enough for the amount of time it takes you to kill.
Yeah, I agree with that. And CD Improv, thank you very much for the race. Raid. Thank you.
But then in some seeds, you gotta think, stonemen are sometimes the only thing that you are able to kill, and you have to just sit there and, whittle them down.
I think Vrayla's kind of nailed it in chat the best. If their defense broken and you can reliably two-shot them, they're okay. Kind of. I think that's a very good way to put it. If your defense power is over 100 and you can reliably two-shot a stone man, go ahead and grind on them. But if your defense power is 100 and you're reliably two-shotting a stone man, why aren't you going down to the Dragon Lord and kill the Dragon Lord?
I will say though, Demerine had an idea there. I mean, they were having bad luck with the sleep lasting, and stop spell, if you're gonna have to fight them, seems to be the better route there. She still only took one hit, so minimize the amount of damage she took, but still took like 4 swings.
All right, so let's see. I'm bringing up here the stats on the stone man. Oh, geez, they even have heal. Oh my god. I don't think we've seen that yet. Their stop spell resistance is 10 out of 16. That ain't very fun.
No, not good at all.
Yeah, these stone men are just, no.
You're better off just sleeping and running, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're much better off sleeping and running these stone men.
And they are just everywhere. Usually, like, people complain on these randomizers about getting stopped by, like, red dragons, because those are usually, the issue. But today, it's just stone men and golems. I don't even think I've seen a red dragon.
I was just going to say, have we seen a red dragon? I don't know if we've seen one yet this seed. We've seen blues and we've seen greens. I don't think we've seen reds yet.
I mean, at this rate, we have Fun Police for the AK-47s and the red dragons, but after this seed, we might have to dub something for Stonemen and Golems.
And since our runners here are grinding on armored knights, let's bring up their stats. Pretty standard stats here for a armored knight. 6 out of 16 stop throw resistance. That kind of hurts a little bit, but eh. Ooh, and one sends Hangry back to start. Oof.
Although this the XP to hit point ratio, these seem to be the best. They're still definitely not the easiest of mobs for either of our runners right now.
No. I mean, they still hit, they still hit fairly substantially.
I gotta wonder, do you think Hangry's going to make the dive to check the treasury just for the death necklace? Or maybe check the trap tile? Because if the trap tile in here is, say, just regular axe knights, that could be a better grindable tile for that.
I could absolutely see him going to check for the death necklace because, it certainly looks like, the strength is certainly not going to be there. The question is their HP going to be there for a death necklace use?
And I mean, honestly, if I was in this situation, I wouldn't even mind diving like a couple floors of Sharlock, maybe see if I can find red dragons, because for all we know, they could be a way better grindable mob than what we're running into with the stonemen, the golems, and the armored axe knights, since we haven't seen one. If they're a better enemy at 255 XP, that would be way better.
It looks like Demi is starting to close in on level 15. Let's see what level 15 is going to bring our runners.
And hurt on the red dragons.
Five more power, 12 more hit points.
Yeah, after seeing Hangry Canuck run into a red dragon, it only casting hurt. I don't know what else it had because he ran. That already seems like a better grindable monster, depending on if it has anything else behind that.
Well, it certainly hit. Twice. So my guess is, having hurt, it's probably either a 50 or a 25. It's a 25. Oh, and they also have heal. How about that?
Yeah. And that stop spell resistance not very good either. I mean, if you're gonna go with that, you might as well go with the 616 on the AK.
So it looks like Hangry's taking a little pause here to figure out what to do next. Meanwhile, we still have Demi up against these armored knight grinds. Yeah, looks like Demi is going to have taken an excursion back to Cantlin. Meanwhile, Hangry is exploring the countryside. Looks like he's going to try an overworld grind. I wonder what was in here that has caught his eye. Hangry is definitely looking for something that he has seen before. And right now, all he's getting is a bunch of golems.
And still not having access to the heal more, he's really limited on what he can take. He needs to be able to take something that he can take down without having to use heal, because regular heal is just not going to cut it.
He's going to try a blue dragon. Nails the hurt more, so he does take down a blue dragon. That's nice. Of course, we know his grind will be a lot easier once he gets to level 14, because level 14 has the Heal More spell. And Demi is back on the grind on Armored Knights. And Hangry has wandered back into the grave. I wonder if he's going to check the bottom chest of the grave for?
I wonder if he saw something on this floor that he wants to grind.
Maybe. To answer the question, chat from Ruler2112. Amazingly, nobody's checked the Swamp Cave Spike tab. They both have, and they both know it is a golem in the Swamp Cave. And golems just, without heal more, aren't pleasant to begin with.
Not necessarily the best XP down here for Hangry, but he is able to kill these in one shot, and will limit, his chance of survival a little bit. So I think he's choosing no, it's not good enough.
Ooh, an RNG bites Demi twice in a row. She can't land a hurt more.
Hangry, though, getting that excellent move on the golem should brighten his spirits just a little bit, as this, if he's able to finish this off, will be 255 XP.
Demi's starting to close in on level 16, and Hangry, meanwhile, is back onto the first floor of Sharlock, trying to grind up there.
And you gotta think, both these runners probably are both thinking, oh man, no one's finished. Is it next level we get that, big boost? Is it next, somebody gonna finish? Is somebody gonna finish? And I mean, I kind of feel that, because once you hit about an hour and 20 for a lot of seeds and I see no one's finished, I'm always just anticipating that done. And if I go to like an hour 30 and it still hasn't happened, then I expect like the worst from Sharlock.
Yeah. I think it also depends on what I have in my inventory. Because, if I have only one of the required items at an hour and 15 minutes, then I'm like, all right, well, this is a little bit of a longer seed. But if I have everything and it's an hour and 20 minutes in, I'm like, uh-oh, I'm going to get sniped soon.
Yeah, usually if I'm in grind to go mode at an hour and 20, that's when I start to get nervous. You just never know when that next level is.
Speaking of next level, Demerine has reached level 16. Let's see what we have here. 2 more power, nice agility boost, and Nice HP boost. So she is now slowly starting to creep up on the stats needed for the Dragon Lord. Meanwhile, Hangry gets level 14 and gets the critical spell of Heal More. Be interesting to see if he tries to take down this red dragon now that he has Heal More. Oh yeah, definitely looks like he's going for it. Of course, he's going to be very disappointed to see that I think it had heal. And there it is. Ooh, and gets the Kaishin no Ichigeki to take down the red dragon.
Now knowing what he knows, if he can land that stop spell, I could see him trying to grind him down here.
And it looks like Demi is loading up to do a dive. I wonder if she's thinking that she's going to grind to level 17 on her way down. All right, so where are we at here mathematically speaking? Well, just like we were a few levels ago, they are still at 15 heal mores. Okay, so you can reliably think you'll get 16 to 17 attacks on the Dragon Lord. Okay? So 16, 17 attacks means, you know, a little less than 10 damage average. So like an 8, 9, 10 damage average is what you're kind of aiming for. What is the damage that Demerine would do right now going down?
So 4 to 8.
Right. What you would do is you take your attack power, subtract 100. So in this case, it'd be 15. Divide by 2 and round down. So that would be 7. Divide by 2 and round down again. That would be 3. So right now she would be doing 3 to 7 damage, or an average of 5. An average of 5, right now she would need 30 attacks, as the real Bong mentions in chat. So, not quite there yet.
No.
But now keep in mind, for every 2 strength you gain, you're going to gain 1 on average damage to the Dragon Lord. So, if you were to get to strength 80, right, you would have 122 attack power. Well, then your damage range is 5 to 11 for an average of 8, and boy, you're getting close.
I think with the MP that they have, they could possibly go with another 10 strength and they could have a chance. Because they would be averaging almost, at that point they'd be averaging about 8 to 9, and probably get some doubles with the 118, depending on the Fire Breath, so it could be a possibility with just 10 more strength. But it'll depend too, what next level brings. How much hit points are they going to get? How much more MP are they going to get on top of, possibility getting strength, as well. So, I mean, that'll all take into consideration.
Demi within about 1,200 experience points of level 17. And Hangry is about 500 experience points shy of level 15. And as you can see, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think he's about 2 more stone men after this from leveling.
And you can really see what the difference is here between Demi having found a good grind spot versus Hangry kind of struggling to find a grind spot. When they were both in go mode, I believe we said that there was a roughly 1,600 experience point difference between the two. That experience point difference has now grown from 1,600-ish to 4,500. So kind of goes to, show that, our theory that grinding on the Armored Knights was the best grind spot is absolutely confirmed. I mean, Demi just keeps growing her experience lead. I mean, by the time Hangry gets back on the grind, having taken a death to the Red Dragon due to lack of resources, she's probably going to stretch that experience lead out to just about 5,000.
And Hangry just was struggling at the Armored Knight tile too. I don't know if it was just he was getting unlucky rolls or not having access to the heal more, but he struggled there.
The debate's over. The debate is over. A strength gain of 30 makes this one of the freest Dragon Lord fight I have seen in a long, long time.
In fact, I mean, they got plenty of MP too to burn if they get really bad run fails going down there.
Yeah.
They got plenty of MP to resources to use.
They are up to 17 heal mores. And so, what are we doing? Well, 145 attack power means your damage range is 11 to 22. 11 to 22 means you're doing 15.5 damage. 10 swings will take care of it, and you have 17 heal mores. You can blow 9 heal mores on your way down and probably still kill the Dragon Lord.
Yep. And having that 136 HP too also allows for them a decent amount of double attack.
High Spirit says in chat, die for the death necklace and make it fun. It's already going to be fun, man. I mean, you're just going to basically beat the Dragon Lord above the head and neck.
I think diving for the death necklace would be like a meme in its own, but when you see no one's finished and then you go for the death necklace, whether it's there or not, but then you lose, do you kick yourself for, going up there knowing that you had it in the bag already?
High Spirits again in chat. What's better than 155 attack power? 165 attack power. Well, that's... Hey, you get 165 attack power, you bring the ever elusive 30 damage in? All right, and the nice thing too is that with Demi's agility being 91, she is a favorite to run from, I believe, every battle here in Sherlock. So, slow and steady will win this race. She can burn some heal mores without much of a problem. Life is good. Hangry getting a Kaishin no Ichigeki on a Golem. He's already at level 15. Little does he know he still needs 2 more levels to get into Go mode.
You know, I don't want to do the old commentator's curse, but it's funny that we're diving Sherlock with 91 agility, because earlier today I ran a practice race that had 95 agility, died 5 attempts to red dragons because I couldn't run from them in Sherlock, and lost the race.
Ugh. Well, it looks like Hangry has taken to grinding in the desert outside of Breckenary here. Alright. Gantetsu asks in chat, at what point does it go from hero to just bullying the dragons? We're pretty much already at that point, more or less. That you can pretty much run from everything in Sherlock. You can run from most of the dragons. You're pretty much... You're playing neener with the dragons at this point.
And that just goes to show you in Rando how much one level can make a difference. At level 16, we were still struggling to get off our feet. 17, we're now bullying everything.
Yeah, this Armored Knight is kind of doing a number on Demi now. Just kind of proves the old saying that I say all the time. Agility in Dragon Warrior, as it is in most games, merely a suggestion. As High Spirit says in chat, the higher your agility is, the lower your run chances. Well, yeah. And now we have a red dragon here on the Sherlock spike tile. Oh look, red dragons have heal. Command, attack. Command, attack. And that red dragon evaporated relatively quickly. And Demi, being the conservationalist, decides, you know what, I'm just going to use herbs to heal up. She holds B and gets called a fool, and now will commence with the ritual disassembly of the Dragon Lord.
Barring no mismenu, this will be all she wrote right here.
And agility 91. Let's get back attacked by the Dragon Lord because... Vrayless, yes, this is a matchup of 2 1-on-1 competitors. Vralis then mentioning in chat that there was a back attack from Dragon Lord 2 with 111 agility. That's fun. So the question now becomes, how many Healmores will Demerine have left when she finishes this fight? She's down to 11. Look out. This might be close. Oh, look. She's got 10 Healmores left. That was close. Meanwhile, Hangry gets to level 16. Alrighty, those of you in the chat, get out your GGs. Demerine 2 has finished in first place in the seed with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 18 seconds. Well done. And Hangry's comment after the G to Demerine, other things existed besides golems and stonemen, right? And unfortunately, Hangry has Dot forfeited from the race. Understandable. Unfortunate, but understandable. With that chime, though, we are joined by our winner, Demerine 2. Demi, very nicely done. Well done.
I can't believe that the right play was not to do the gold grind because we had level 1 hurt more.
It was indeed the correct play. You know, that sword kind of helped, and so did that hurt more.
And I like how I got keys to that seed, finding out that it was a one continent by going north over that giant swamp, coming back around, and realizing, oh, this is Tintagel.
Yeah, that was interesting. As Game Boy was in chat at that point and said that's the first we have seen it in a while that you could backdoor into Tantagel to actually get your source of keys. And actually, both you and Hangry actually both did that. You backdoored into Tantagel to get your stash of keys.
Ah, that was kind of awesome. I didn't because when I saw that when I had sword off the key, I'm like, I've got a gold grind if I want it. Let me go scout. But of course, I'd also saw level 1 hurt more, and I'm like, you know, by the time I would have reset, I'm like, I'm at level 7. Maybe I think Hangry gambled it, and if he did, I could get so far ahead off of this hurt more. Like I get to level 8 or 9 because I found Star Wyverns early and just get way ahead.
Yeah, and you pretty much had the experience lead from the get-go for the most part. Yeah, so that choice of yours definitely paid off. And then your choice to grind on the Armored Knights and Hotsness also kind of vaulted you into a very nice experience lead. Just to give you an idea, just as you had finished, Hangry just got level 16.
Yeah, like it was just weird. Like, I mean, golems were no good because our strength was abysmal right up until it wasn't, and then obviously, I just did not feel like trying to sit there and just stop down that golem. I needed to get levels, but I was able to sort of count out. I was able to even count the armor, which was nice. Like, I missed it the first time, that's why I walked around trying to find a stone man to kill myself on, so I could go home and then unfoul my count.
Yeah. So, what did you think of the seed otherwise?
Mapping was good. Routing was pretty good. You know, I think I got nervous when I died in Garen's grave, but otherwise, I think it went really well. I think that I played this pretty solidly all the way around.
Well, I have to say that both you and Hangry did an impressive job at counting out the coordinates for Erdrick's armor, because you know neither one of you were getting past that golem without the Healmore spell, and you both decided, you know what, we're going to count it out. And you both did a very good job counting that out.
That's awesome. I'm glad Hangry was able to do that too, because ain't nobody got time to try and grind before heal more. At least without the armor.
GG Demerine. Did anything other than golems and stone men exist in this seed?
Yes. Werewolves with DL2 breath, you guys also stumbled into a lot of those.
I think I must have hit 50 golems in a row on my way to Hawksness. It was just crazy. Golems and stone men and golems and stone men. I didn't see anything else.
I mean, we had roughly 6 trillion MP that seed, so it was sleep the stone men and run, fairy flute the golems and run, and just my job was I was hiking the hawks. Once I realized where the armor was, that it was out that way, my game plan was going to be to grind armored knights for a while.
Yeah, I tried that once or twice, and the stone men and golems got me every time going there.
Yeah, and I want to make a note. One thing in a lot of these seeds you see that's usually the barrier are red dragons, and in this seed it was stonemen and golem for you guys. I don't think either of you guys saw a red dragon until you hit Sharlock.
Yeah, that's the first time I seen one was in Sharlock. I was actually happy to see one.
I wasn't. I mean, armored knights had baby breath and stop spell, and they didn't want to let me go in lower Sharlock. I mean, stone men were fine. We had, what was the agility at the end there? It was in the 80s. We got up to 91 at the last level, so we were 50-50 to run from everything.
I'd love to know what the stop spell resistance on those stone men was, though.
I'd say 7, if I were to guess. 7 to 16, because I know I tried to land a few and just it wasn't happening. It was either 7 or 9. It was pretty bad.
I think we brought it up earlier. I think it was a 6. Coming back up, it was a 10.
Ugh. Okay, never mind.
Well, that explains a lot.
Yeah, sleep and run was the play, because we had no strength, so...
Yeah, I tried to count out the coordinates. I got there. I thought I had it right. Didn't get anything, so I'm like, oh god, the search spot's blank, because I forgot to check the bottom of the grave, so the token could have been there. Then I found Hawksness, walked into Hawksness, and was like, there's the token. I'm like, oh, what did I do wrong?
I had gotten the second curse belt out of the tablet cave, so I had already known that all the search spots were in play real early on, which was kind of nice.
Didn't even check tablet, found it, and didn't go back.
I didn't want to leave stones behind just in case, that would have been, because I think it was right before I died in Garen's grave, and I didn't want to leave it behind. I felt really bad leaving it behind, so I'm like, alright, let me just pop a torch and just go down there, it'll take a minute, but,
If I could have found a good grind spot, it would have been okay, but I had to grind below Breckenary in that cave on golems. That's where I was grinding towards the end, because there was just nothing.
I mean, other good grind spot, the only other place that I was thinking about grinding, and I'm like, no, I'm just going to go do Armored Knights, but the other place I was thinking of was going back into Garen's Grave 1 and doing Wizards for a while. Wizards were sort of there.
Now, Wizards would have been real nice to grind on, because I'm pretty sure all they did was attack and cast Stop Spell, but they were scarce throughout the seed. There were none of them.
No, it was all golems and stonemen. I don't remember seeing anything else. I don't recall if I've seen a Star Wyvern. I think I might have seen one in a cave somewhere.
Yeah, there weren't very many Star Wyverns or Magi Wyverns, for that matter.
Oh, there were plenty of Magi Wyverns. They were right outside Sharlock in the desert just south. If you wanted Magi Wyverns, you could have had all of them. They were pretty... I got 3 or 4 at the start of the run. That got me from 1 to 8.
I didn't see any. All I seen was golems and stonemen. No matter where I went, there was a golem and a stoneman. Didn't matter. I could have went into castle. They probably would have followed me in.
They did. It was stonemen and golems on the first floor of Sharlock. They were everywhere. They infested this seed.
And the stonemen just like to go on the Hurtmore train.
Well, they were 75% to cast Hurt More, and then 50% to cast Heal.
You sure they were 75% to cast Hurtmore? Because I don't remember one punching me. Like that little goal grind I was going to do off the start, and then I figured I'd reset, and then I lost the goal grind. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, I saw Hurtmore and was just like, yeah, I'm gonna scout real quick. If there's a close enough town that I can just Hurtmore my way to, I'll reset. But since there wasn't, I'm like, you know what? I found Magic Wyverns. I'm good. I'll get my gold grind when I die later. Which ended up working out really well for me, apparently. So I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, I just got no luck with the golems and the stonemen. I must have died like 20 times. I'd hate to see my death counter on this seed. It must have been high.
The stream screen says that you lost out in deaths 18-9.
How'd you only die 9 times?
Found coal early, had fairy flute, never feared golems again because I would just flute them because I didn't want to take my chances, and then we had early sleep, so I didn't want to take my chance with Stone Man, so I slept them too. And that was that.
Yeah, that's what I did for a while too, but then sleep would miss. Everything would miss. Like, I must have missed 4 or 5 sleeps on the stonemen. Like, normally they're okay to sleep, but I just couldn't hit nothing.
Yeah, I don't know, it's kind of how it goes sometimes. They get the breaks too.
I don't know if I got a break this one, to be honest.
I mean, you did miss out on the most exciting level of the seed, because the first 16 levels were all bad and MP-laden, and then there was level 17.
Yeah, I was just almost at 17 when my senior dot done.
Yeah, it was 30 hit points and like 20-some HP. Like, as soon as I saw the big number pop up, I'm like, yeah, I'm good, I'm done. It didn't need to be that big, but now if I want to burn her heal mores on the way down, I can. That was fun, though. That was good seed overall. Just toughing it out a little bit there.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad seed. I just couldn't find any grind was my issue. And every time I tried to grind on those Axe Knights, the stop spell wouldn't hit, or then I'd meet a Stoneman on the off tile and he'd kill me, so it was kind of like, then it would take me 20 minutes to walk there with all the golems and stonemen showing up, so I was like, well, no, this is just wasting time.
So I have to say, very good game to both of you. Any last couple of comments here before we wrap things up?
No, just GG Demerine, good luck going ahead. Kind of glad to miss the 2-1, to be quite honest. There's an awful lot of sharks in that pool.
Well, don't get too excited, Hangry. I was looking at that. There's actually quite a few sharks in the 1-2 pool as well, so definitely some stiff competition all around.
Yeah, I know it's certainly not getting any easier, but RPG Valkyrie's 3-0 this week, so that's really what matters most in this life.
You are absolutely right on that.
So hopefully we don't see each other next week, because we're all sitting here in the 2-1 pool, where apparently death awaits a lot of us, so it'll be interesting.
All right. Well, thank you guys for putting on such a good race. We really appreciate it. For anybody in chat, make sure you absolutely go follow our runners, the Hangry Canuck, and our winner, Demerine 2. Make sure you do that. Brax, any last news, notes, comments you have before we kick on out of here?
Just a couple things. First thing, GG to both you guys. Definitely a fun race to watch, even though you had Hurtmore in the sword. It still was a bit of a struggle to get going. But for everybody out there in the audience, wondering if there's any more DWR coming up. In fact, there is. We're going to have one race tomorrow, and the final 6 races will be on Sunday. No channels yet have been determined for those, but if you guys join the Discord, you guys can be notified as to when those races times are and what channels they will be on.
Indeed. And tomorrow's race should be a good one. We have Kong Cakes versus Tristal MTG at 7 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. So that should be a really good one. So yeah, I just again want to shout out our restreamer, Sparkover, and our tracker, Algebrap. And I think with that, we've been informed that we are going to go raid RPG Limit Break, who is currently hosting a Final Fantasy marathon. So for our runners, Demerine 2 and the Hangry Canuck, for our restreamer Sparkover, for our tracker Algebrap, for my co-commentator Braxis Muse, I am Z-Man 050778. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great night.